Hello everyone, I'm going to talk about the collaboration in this module. Collaboration is the working together on a team. Particularly in the urban studies, we need to pull out data from the urban environment. So we need to collaborate with each other within a team or within an organization or whatever that you are going to collect data. Becoming an innovative problem solver, you need to collaborate within a team and working with together. So the question here is that what can help or encourage the collaboration, or what can hurt the collaborative activities? This is the questions that we are going to consider in this module, and how also we can find some solutions for the conflicts or some issues for the collaboration. So I'm going to talk about the Grattan and Erickson's article about the 8 ways to build collaborative team. They recognize some key factors in this article that are important to create a collaborative team. For example, they recognize that the size of team is important, but the large size can be an issue for the collaboration. They try to recognize the levels of the collaborative team in the companies that they studied, and they consider that the numbers of the team members can affect to the levels of the collaboration. But when we find the larger groups or small groups, we can find some collaborative issues for the larger groups over the 20 members. And the other item that they consider, that is the virtual and the distance of the participation. Because we know that all groups now working together virtually, particularly under the COVID-19 pandemic situation. Many classes in campus or off campus become a virtual, or many volunteer groups become a virtual. So the question here is that what is the difference between the levels of the collaborative activity in a virtual or realistic? Also, the other item is the diversity. The level of the diversity directly related to the successful and innovation in the group. So this is very important that when we are going to shape a group, we need to consider about the diversity. Grattan and Erickson notified that when diversity is high in a company, the level of innovation is high too. So there is a direct and positive relationship between diversity and innovation within a group. The other criteria that authors considered in the article is that the level of education. Level of education can be create a specialized staff for the group. So the specialized group are productive when they can solve the conflicts. Level of education can affect either positive or negative to the collaborative activities. They recognize the 8 factors that lead to the successful group. For example, they recognize that when the leaders or active members of the team encourage them to the collaboration, so over time they can shape the collaborative culture within a team. This is different than our tit-for-tat culture. Each person look for a equivalent retaliation. So collaborative culture needs a little bit sacrifice. However, the team members consider about the free riding, and the successful team management can lead the members the more active and more collaborative. It is the art of the management or leadership we can consider about that. For example, when you find the daily coaching and mentoring within a company or a team, particular when you consider about the informal coaching, When people support each other within a group, the collaborative level is going to up. And this style of the group management increases the level of collaboration. Particularly when the senior staff supports the newcomers, automatically they increase the collaborative behavior within a group. On the other hand, sometimes groups faced with the unproductive conflicts. This is the art of members and leaders that can manage and solve the unproductive conflict. We can classify the conflicts within a productive and unproductive. So the main issue comes from the unproductive conflicts that can destroy a group or has a negative impact on the collaborative behaviors. This is the art of management within a group, that how can lead the group to the productivity and innovation status, particularly within a groups that commit complexity tasks and under a diversity situation. So how they can integrate the members within the activities or encourage the members to the collaborative behavior. For example, how the rewards and promotion system design within the group. So these activities can shape the collaborative behavior. Also, the coaching and mentoring style can help the staff to learning and training process with institutional socialization. If a team can create a collaborative opportunity for members, automatically encourage the members to participate. And the other factors here that play a significant role is the type of relationship between leaders of the group and members. Also, we should consider about the vertical and horizontal relationship within a group. The type of leadership classified within a task-oriented and relationship-oriented. So the researcher focused on the question that what style of the leadership can be successful, can create a innovative environment within a group, or which style of the leadership are more productive than the others. The authors classified this type of their leadership to the relationship oriented or task oriented. Finally, they recognize that those placed in the middle between the task oriented and relationship oriented are more successful than those who emphasize on the task-oriented or relationship-oriented. Particular those leadership that sharing the knowledge within a team and mitigating the tension under a certain condition. Another factor that authors mentioned in these 8 factors that lead to success is the creating heritage relationship. When some people recognize each other before they joining a group, or in other words, formally knowing each other, can shape a successful relationship, particularly in creating networks within a team. This type of the relationship automatically can create the trust-based relationship within a group. And this trust-based relationship can encourage people to join those more consistent group and consolidated affairs. So it can automatically help to the leadership and managing the affairs and tasks within a group, and fairly distribution of the task within a group, because the main issue in the group activity and team working is the free riding. So it is a threat for each group that can become a source of destroying a group or disadvantage for the collaboration. In the social networking, those people that know each other before the shaping group, or know each other before the joining the group can create a more significant network in the building a team. Another point in the successful teams is the managing the employees training system, because this part is very important to joining the newcomers to the group. For example, when you work as a human resource within a company or corporation, designing the employees training system is a significant role to transferring the knowledge and environment situation to the newcomers. They need more coaching and mentoring, or particular informal mentoring, to dissolving within a group. This can help the collaborative activities and behaviors within an organization. Okay, I almost talked about these items. I'm going to the next slide. In the other article, the author considered about the big mistakes that leaders conduct when they make a decision. Sometimes leaders believe that they involve others in a decision making, but the author believed that this is just only pertinent to the teamwork, not as a real involving in the decision making. When the leaders confuse between the process and decision making, it is the main source for the collaboration, because they think that the members involved in the decision making, but members only involved in the conducting the project, not the decision making. And also the other issue in a team working is the group think. In a group think, members think similar each other. There is no innovation, there is no diversity, there is no different perspective, or particular in a successful teams, we need a critical views. Critical views can bring a more innovation and productive activity for the group. We cannot find this situation in a group thinking. So we should consider about the group thinking, particular those members that working for a while, so automatically their views get close together. So this is the threat for the innovation and creative behavior. You cannot find a new idea in this group. However, they are more experienced than the others. But when you can find the newcomers within a group, we can expect a new idea and a new innovation in the group. So we should consider about the group thinking. For example, in a group thinking, you can find the common responses to the stress, or solutions are limited. They are in a group think issue, they working as a machine with each other. There is no organic, or we can say the humanized relationship between members, and the relationship is very mechanical or dehumanized, or there are no, for example, after a work activities in this group. So this is the very important that when we work as a group, or we are going to create a team, we should consider about this issue to create a successful team. And also some items can shape the complexity tax within a team. Complex tax is a little bit disadvantage for collaborative behavior. For example, when you see a person that work within a two location, but some people are not involved the activity, or you cannot find the task division in this group. So this is the source of the issue for the collaborative activity. So some people automatically excluded from the activity, and some people doing more job and more tasks instead of working with other members of the group. Also, the success is uncertainty. We cannot expect or guarantee that collaborative behavior automatically lead us to a successful team. So the success is a little bit, it depends on the art of collaboration, not the, we are not going to consider about the form of the collaboration. Sometimes the quality of the collaboration can create more productivity and innovative situation than the quantity of the collaboration. Or also when a team working under a extreme pressure, so working in this circumstance lead members to be taken off from the group, and it's a disadvantage for the collaborative activities. I want to summarize this module. Knowledge and skills about the collaboration is important for urban studies. Particularly in urban studies, we consider about the urban resilience, which involves the urban issue. So we need to work with people to shape the groups and particular to shape a community. Community follows a certain goal or volunteer activity, which is very important in the social participation. Collaboration is a skill that helps the members to be involved in a team, and a more skilled people can be a leader in a team. A collaborative team can recognize the challenge and solve the conflict. The conflict solution leads the team more successful than the failure team. Creating an environment that encourages people to innovate, to bring the idea, to creative solution for the issues. These items are that found as summarized in this lecture. I use these sources in this lecture. You can read this article that I provided in this list, and then please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.